Welcome to your Pilates studio. This is a 10-minute session focusing on really gentle stretches for your back. We're starting standing and then we're going to be coming down onto the mat, so make sure you have some space available. So we're going to start at the end of the mat, really tall through the spine. So imagine that piece of string coming from the bottom all the way through the spine, lifting the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Stay nice and open across the front, and we're going to gently connect those lower abdominals, pulling them in. We're going to nod the chin, roll the shoulders. We're either going to walk the hands down the legs or we're going to leave them hanging, making sure that we don't push the bottom out behind, that we're folding in on ourselves as we come down. We're going to inhale at the bottom, make sure we're connected in those lower abdominals, and then we're going to slowly come back up again. Gently squeeze through the bottom if you need a bit more support, or walk the hands up the legs if you need to. Roll the shoulders, grow tall at the top. Gentle connection in those lower abs. Roll the shoulders, coming back down towards the floor. Stay soft through the knees here. Come as low as you feel comfortable getting for a stretch. And then connecting those lower abdominals, a little squeeze in the bottom if you need it. Walking the hands or leaving them hanging as you slowly rebuild your spine. Growing tall at the top. Last time we're going to come down and stay down. So we're tucking the chin, rolling the shoulders, keeping the bottom from pushing out behind. This time when you get to the mat, bend into the knees and walk the hands out into our all fours position. So wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. We're going to take a big breath in through the nose. As we exhale, we're going to tuck the head, tuck the tailbone under and push the spine up towards the ceiling in our cat stretch. As we start to inhale, we lift the tailbone, lift the head, drop the spine. And exhale. Tucking the head, tucking the tailbone, curling the spine to the ceiling. Inhaling as you release the tailbone, release the head, lifting them up into our cow stretch. 2 more. Tuck the head, tuck the tailbone, and then lifting the head, lifting the tailbone on the in-breath. And again. Pushing the spine up, and then releasing on the in-breath. Coming to a midpoint from there, we're going to tuck the toes under, we're going to make that cat stretch a little bit deeper. So you're going to press into the toes, press into the hands, and on the out breath, push the spine up to the ceiling, really pressing down into the hands and toes to help stretch upwards. And then release on the in-breath. We've got 2 more like that. Push into the hands and toes, really drive the spine up to the ceiling, and then release. And again. And then release. Untuck the toes. We're going to slide out onto our tummies here. We can have our elbows in close, palms flat to the floor. We're going to squeeze our bottom and push our pubic bone down into the mat so we protect our lower back here. We're going to stretch out the upper back. So take a breath in, pull in those lower abdominals, and as you exhale, keeping your bottom tight and your pubic bone pressing down, you're going to push into the arms, lift the chest up off the mat. Inhale at the top, and then exhale back down. Breath in. Make sure the tummy is pulled in, the bottom is tight, and then press into the forearms. Stretch through the upper back. Inhale and hold, and then exhale back down. We're going to do 2 more. Big breath in. Exhale, squeeze the bottom, pulling in the tummy as you come up. So we're not just arching through the lower back here, we're really asking the upper back to extend. And then release. We've got 2 more. Squeeze the bottom, push the pubic bone in. As you exhale, pressing away from the floor, lifting the upper back. Try not to lift the chin here. Try and get the chest up instead. Inhaling at the top and releasing on the out breath. 1 more time. Big breath in. Squeeze the bottom, pubic bone presses in. Exhale as we come up. Inhale and hold. Exhale. Come back down. Fingertips under your forehead, just gently rock your hips. Then hands under your shoulders. We're coming up onto all fours. We're going to do our thread needle. So picking up the hand, threading it through between the hand and knee on the other side. Breath in there. As you exhale, hand comes up towards the ceiling, looking towards it. Bring it down, switching sides, threading through. Inhaling. As you exhale, lifting the hands. Making sure that as you do this movement side to side, the bottom is staying over your knees. It's not pushing out to either side. That way you'll get the stretch and the movement through your upper back rather than your hips moving instead. Big breath in. Exhale, reach and stretch. Come down. We've got one more to each side. Reaching through. Breath in here. Exhale as you reach and stretch. Come down. And again. Big breath in. Exhale. And down. From here, we're just going to drop back onto the heels. We're going to walk the hands out in front. We're going to take them out to the edges of the mat, so just a bit wider than the shoulders. And we're going to drop the forehead to the floor. Take some nice big breaths in here. So pushing the breath out behind you, into the upper ribs. Nice big breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. From here, we're going to walk the hands all the way over to the right hand side. If you're feeling very tight, just leave the right hand where it is and just take the left hand as far over as you can get. But if you can, you're going to walk the hands a little bit further to the right, sitting the left hand on top of the right hand or just beside it, and then lowering the forehead to the floor. Taking some nice big breaths in here, pushing the breath down the left hand side of the body so we get a stretch all the way down the left hand side from the arm all the way to the hip. Nice big breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And walking the hands gently back through the centre and out to the left. As far around as you can get. And maybe you can just leave your left hand there and join with your right hand if you're feeling very tight. But if you can, walk the hands a little bit further around to the left. Right hand sits on top of your left hand if you can, or as close to it as possible. Forehead lowers to the floor, and we take some nice big breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, pushing the breath down that right hand side so we get a stretch all the way down the side of the body. Walking the hands gently back to centre. One more stretch with the hands, both reaching away from you, forehead to the floor. And then bending the elbows, bringing the arms down beside you. Just holding this child pose position, focusing on the breath and allowing the back just to stretch here. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And if you're feeling very tight, you can pause the video and stay here for a little bit longer. Otherwise, we're going to draw in those lower abdominals and we're going to uncurl the spine. Bring the hands down so that we can tuck the toes, rock back into a crouch. From there, we're going to straighten the legs, keep them soft through the knees though. We're going to connect those lower abdominals, walking the hands up the legs or leaving them hanging. We're going to rebuild the spine. So connect through your glutes a little bit as well if you need that extra support. We're going to rebuild all the way back up to standing, nice and tall through the spine. And I hope you've enjoyed those stretches for your back.